coffee on the desk. I owe you. Don't bother to watch this one. It's a loser. I've seen it 6 times and I still can't figure it out.
metropolitan area is still in the grip of the terror known as the Hydra. Seldom in the past 20 years has New York been so obsessed with a single thought. Who will be next? This pathological strangler strikes without rhyme or reason. He strikes without warning and when least expected. The result is the city has locked and bolted its doors. Business is suffering. The police are doing their best. But at this moment, there are no clues. The Hydra is still loose. This is Hal Hunter's...
A small bottle of bubbly. Super.
Ellery? Anybody home?
Uncle, you better stop using that rusty passkey that you swung with from Jack the Ripper. You're going to be in trouble. Oh, enter unwelcome guest. I want you to meet a good friend of mine, my videotape editor. This is Miss
Price.
Miss Price. This is my uncle, Inspector Queen.
Hi.
Hi.
This is your uncle?
His uncle.
Yes, my uncle. There was a mix-up in the birth records.
Oh.
I see it's work, work, work. All the time work.
I don't need your sympathy.
Well, I guess I better go.
Oh, you don't have to leave. You'll be gone soon.
No, that isn't true.
It isn't true?
No.
It isn't? Well, I guess I better go file these tapes.
I'm sorry. I didn't expect him.
I understand.
I'll call you.
Videotape editor. I take it she knows you're an eminent author, but does she know your specialty is crime?
She knows what my specialty is.
No, thanks. I'm on duty.
You wouldn't like it anyway. It's imported.
Where you been hiding? I've tried to reach you for the past week.
Been down in Bermuda writing. Got a half-finished book and an uptight publisher.
Beautiful. He's writing while New York burns. Ellery, if there...
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you.
Kipling, Rudyard.
Dear Bruni, Mickey.
Ellery, you promised. Never try to make your uncle laugh. Not with a British accent and bad timing.
You insist on being related. Dad may have had a half-brother, but please don't push your luck.
I didn't come here to discuss the family tree. We've got a heavy crisis on our hands. Public furor, tremendously increased sale of firearms, half-empty restaurants and theaters. Whole town is uptight. If we don't arrest this Hydra killer, we're in for mass hysteria.
I noticed, alleged uncle, that every time you get into deep trouble, you come running to your alleged nephew, right?
Yes, I admit it. We're down to clutching at straws.
Well, don't clutch at me. I'm a writer, remember?
Ellery, all I'm asking...
I know what you're asking, and the answer is no. While you're defanging that Hydra snake, whatever, I'll be finishing my book in Paris and swinging around St. Moritz.
And I'll be collecting unemployment.
Oh, Uncle, the worst that can happen to you is you'll get a 20-year pension. Yours at 40. Now, there's no sense in crying into my typewriter.
You're refusing to pitch in when the going is rough?
Absolutely.
All right, Ellery. I can take a hint. But before you go swinging around San Moritz, you'll be required to respond to the warrant for your arrest.
You wouldn't.
You neglected 3 traffic tickets, scoffed at them. Scoff, 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 as though somehow you're above the law.
I was under the impression that I had juice.
A high-placed relative in law enforcement?
Right.
I thought it was all a mistake, a mix-up in the birth records.
Blackmail.
Blackmail? Not me.
Your own nephew.
How do you spell your own nephew?
R-O-T-T-E-N. Rotten.
I'd blackmail my own mother if she could help crack the Hydra case.
I am not emotionally equipped to deal with corruption in high places. If you are that desperate and that ruthless, I will glance at the evidence. But no promises.
Somehow, I knew I could count on you.
Hydra murder. Read out, ready, run. This way, Inspector.
All right, Ellery, the first Hydra victim was... This is a car theft in Manhasset.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Let me check the program. We must be patched in wrong.
I can see why your department enjoys such spectacular success.
Never mind. I got my own computer. Come on. The first victim of the Hydra was a motion picture projectionist, Abbott Adrian, bachelor, age 35, strangled with a cord made of Indian tussa silk. Color blue, lab trace negative. Smith, Carol, strangled 19 days later, unmarried, 33, profession call girl. Murdered with the same kind of silk cord.
Correction. Different cord. According to the news services.
All right, not a blue cord, pink. Ryan Walter, stress engineer, wife and 3 kids, killed a month later, blue cord. Monica McKell, age 30, rich radical activist nut, strangled with a pink cord in the subway. Her Bentley broke down at 3 a.m., no taxi. She was in the village, had an argument with her date, decided to take an underground trip. She never came up.
McKell. Yeah, that's her sister Celeste. They hated each other.
I see you keep up with the lunatic fringe.
You know, we best-selling authors have to keep tabs on lovely, rich young ding-dongs.
Simone Phillips, age 29, pink cord. Well, there are the Hydra murder victims.
So far.
Don't say that.
Any of them know each other?
No connections.
No friends in common, relatives?
Nothing.
Likes, dislikes, kinks, quirks?
There's no connection. Introverts, extroverts, male and female, rich and poor. This is killing for the sake of killing.
Wrong.
Right.
I'm sorry, there's a common denominator. Yeah. There are all sorts of connections here.
Wrong.
We don't know much more than you do at this point, but we're waiting for some more information to develop. Pardon me.
come
Let me
on.
through here. Come on. Clear side, clear side.
Who is it?
Barbara Wallace. She's 28, single. Was found strangled this morning. She's a social worker.
She had a lot of friends.
Yeah, she was always out on the street rapping, giving advice. The commissioner's upstairs waiting for you. He's uptight.
Of course we're into it, Commissioner. We're running a 30-state computer check. And we'll have the autopsy report this afternoon.
In other words, Richard, nothing.
Isn't that kind of heavy to lay on a case that's less than 6 hours old?
Maybe, but you saw that crowd downstairs. That's just a slight indication of the heat being generated on the mayor's office, and in turn, my department.
I hear your teeth grinding, Commissioner, but we can't go faster than full thrust.
Have you seen the protest programs in the news media? Our city is not safe. Stop the Hydra now. Of course, you're giving it full thrust. I realize we're not being fair to you.
You're lowering your voice, Commissioner.
I try to speak softly when careers are at stake. Now, level with me, Richard. Wouldn't it be a relief to have us take this crisis off your hands?
And put it where, sir?
Oh, you know, the younger appointees, always straining at the leash. Send me in, Coach.
I know you're always motivated by kindness, Commissioner. And votes for the mayor?
I don't deny it. Votes are very stimulating. And failure to apprehend the Hydra might become an issue in the next election. Now, if we follow that line of reasoning, we ought to consider replacing the man who fumbles the ball,
I thought you were carrying the ball, Commissioner.
Ellery, I certainly appreciate having a notable author lend a hand. But to clarify your thought, the mayor runs a tight team and does not consider his star quarterback expendable.
Then he ought to be overjoyed. Since the inspector has picked up a brand new lead and is headed for the end zone.
New lead?
Several, in fact. I didn't want to take credit because Ellery has put the prestige of his reputation on the case, but I can say if we're zeroed in.
We?
Well, the inspector asked me to look over his shoulder. Not that I'd be much help, but it might be something we can throw the papers.
Might be at that. At least it'll be good public relations.
You tell the mayor that there'll be a break in time for the 6 o'clock news.
I hope for your uncle's sake this is firm, Ellery.
If I were you, I'd use it for brownie points, sir.
I'll report my findings. Good luck.
Yes, sir. We're zeroed in on early retirement.
Oh, don't worry about a thing.
Why should I worry? 30 years of service down the recycling tour?
You're hinting. You're just dying to know what the hidden connection is between them.
I'm not interested.
Oh, yes, you are.
No chance.
You're just too proud to ask.
I'm not too proud.
I know you like a book. You're
I'm
too
asking. Please, tell me.
In that case, I'm still working on it.
What does that mean?
Ellery's got it. He just likes to tease his old uncle. Get on the phone, put together a citywide press conference. I want him to know Ellery is zeroed in. Let's all get crucified together.
The Hydra killing, it's a cop-out, you dig? You know? Yeah. Everybody's uptight in the community about the terror, so they can forget about pollution and the war problem and the race problem. The Hydra's a cop-out! Cop-out!
Madam, what is your opinion of the Hydra?
It's a disgrace, that's what it is. It's the mayor's fault. He's soft on crime. Get a new mayor and you'll see the Hydra captured right away.
Sir, what do you think of the Hydra?
I lay it right at the doorstep of the Supreme Court. If they stopped coddling criminals, this kind of thing wouldn't happen.
Miss, are you afraid of the Hydra?
Listen, if he came up to my place, he'd be so out of breath when he got to the top floor, he wouldn't be able to do anything.
And you, sir?
The Hydra?
And that's what the man on the street is saying about the Hydra case. This report just in. The police commissioner has announced the appointment of Ellery Queen as an advisor to the police department in this Hydra case. Mr. Queen is a noted criminologist as well as a famous author of crime fiction. The addition of Mr. Queen should hearten the frightened citizens of New York, for he has had in the past a good deal of success in helping to solve puzzling crimes. However, this time, Queen is faced with a wily, ruthless strangler who has thus far left a string of victims and no clues. Good luck, Ellery. And now for a look at some financial news that may give you a smile. Today, the Interstate Commerce Commission said it will hold an oral hearing on the proposal of a group of railway employees.
Mr. Queen! Mr. Queen!
Give you a lift?
Special directive from Inspector Queen. We're to be available if you need us.
No, I think I can navigate on my own. Thanks, officer.
Okay, Mr. Queen. Oh, in case you're interested, someone's following you. Want us to pick her up?
Directive from Mr. Queen. I'll take care of this myself. Peach is not your color.
Do you want me to call a policeman or something and tell them I was following you?
You're a process server, right?
No. No, I'm not now, nor have I ever been a process server.
Well, I'll have to report you, Miss McKell. What is your phone number?
Do you know me?
No, but I knew your sister. I saw a picture of the two of you down at police headquarters. I'm very sorry about what happened to her.
That's why I've been following you.
Well, this may come as a shock to you. We're lunching together.
Pavillon? That's good.
Oh, that looks so good.
Well, since you're splurging all this money on me, I guess that buys you an explanation.
Listen, by the time I get through, I'm liable to spend, at least $2. And don't forget the cab. So your explanation... Come on, it's getting cold. There you go. Thank you. Your explanation better be good.
Oh, it is.
Over here, let's get some of these.
I want to help you.
You want to help me?
Mm-hmm.
With what?
With the Hydra case.
The Hydra case? Just like that?
Just like that.
Thank you. Let me ask you something. How can a beautiful young girl like you help me? To please.
Oh, I can do lots of things. Carry your typewriter for you, answer your telephone, mess up your files. I give a great barefoot massage. Maybe fondue.
Fondue, huh? Thank you. Well, go on. You're tempting me.
I might even bring over my waterbed.
Waterbed?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can help me.
How?
I don't want to tell you right now. You might say no.
I'm not usually known for that.
Seriously? Why?
Why what?
Why do you want to help me?
All right. Monica had too much money and too little sense. Zelda with bells on, I used to call her. So to show everybody that our heads were in different places. Now that she's dead, I guess I'm a bit guilty. So let me work them out by being useful.
Well, let's leave that open for the moment. I want to talk about your handicap.
Which one?
No, I'm serious. I read your dossier. You have, an IQ of 150. You shoot in the low 70s. You played in a lot of tournaments.
Now, what does that have to do with? Oh, I see. Expert golfer, strong wrists. Oh, Mr. Green, you have a very devious mind.
Ellery. And it's super devious.
I'll sleep better knowing somebody cares.
On your waterbed, right?
You remembered.
Right. Don't eat too much. Don't forget, we have dessert.
Oh. You know, you really have a lot of style. Look at all.
New York has taken just about everything in its stride, from blackouts to brownouts to transit strikes. But 6 murders have made a still life of the city. Taxis cruise all night for a single fare, and Radio City Music Hall reports that attendance is at a record low. Restaurants serve to empty tables, and Broadway plays to empty seats.
Ellery, about this break in the case. I wish you'd tell me.
Wish you had a flash for me.
I'll give you a hot flash. Surveillance detail 601. Ellery Queen entered the apartment of Celeste McKell at 2100 hours. Departed?
Departed unobserved, having had a delightful evening and a delicious fondue.
Oh, come on, Ellery. Don't give me that baloney. Next thing you'll tell me is that all you two did was share a cheese dip. Anyway, I'm not interested in your stomach. I'm interested in your brain.
My brain has a headache, and I think I'll put it to bed.
Now, sit down.
How can I put it in words that an over-the-hill civil servant will understand?
Well, try the part about a common denominator. Connection that ties all the victims to the Hydra killer.
I wish you wouldn't call him the Hydra. It's irresponsible. Speaking of irresponsibility, you put a surveillance detail on me, my own uncle.
It was for your own protection. I won't acknowledge our relationship if you continue to abuse me. British nephew, I promise we won't dump any more tea in the harbor if you tell me the hidden connection.
Scout's honor?
Scout's honor.
There were 4 connections.
4?
A lifetime of routine investigation has dulled your powers of observation.
Will you talk sense?
Here. Adrian Abbott was 35 years old. Carol Smith, 33. Walter Ryan, 32. Monica McKell, 30. Simone Phillips, 29. Barbara Wallace, 29.
Sounds like a countdown. Descending age pattern, each victim younger than the last.
By George, I think he's got it.
Coincidence?
No. According to the computer, the odds on 6 violent deaths in a row, in sequence pattern, exceeds a royal flush. The trouble is, you look at it, and you don't see it. Why anyone would go to the trouble of killing successively younger people, people that didn't even know each other. Now, that's one for the book.
You said 4 connections.
Yeah, point 2, sex of the victims. 4 women, 2 men. One of the men, Ryan, was married, only one. All the women were single. The killer deliberately singles out unmarried women. The computer says the odds on that one are 1,326,000 to 1.
Well, assuming you're right, at least we know that everybody over 28 is safe. Point 3?
The cords. Blue for the males, pink for the females. That's traditional. But strangely kid stuff to use as a murder weapon.
3 down. What's the big finish?
The telephones.
I was hoping for something more dazzling.
Well, Celeste and I checked them all out.
Before or after the fondue?
Ho, ho, ho. No, they're all listed in the city directory.
I'm listed in the phone book.
Well, the odds on that one dropped to 8 to 3.
Ho, ho, ho.
Hello? Yeah, that's for you.
Inspector Queen. Yeah, Billy. Number 7. Yeah? Right. Dr. Edward Cazales.
Psychiatrist? But that's out of the pattern. He's a man in his 50s.
No, it's not him. He found her. It's his wife's niece, Lenore Richardson, age 25.
4 years younger than Barbara Wallace. If the pattern holds, single.
Yep, single.
She must be listed. Richardson. Yeah, it is Lenore Richardson, right. And the cord was pink?
I forgot to ask.
Would you want to bet?
No, thanks. Ellery, you know this Cazales?
No, but I'd like to meet him. Give or take a Jung or a Freud, he's the most famous psychiatrist in America today.
You flatter me, Mr. Queen. You are my favorite mystery writer, give or take an Agatha Christie or George Seymour.
The Richardson girl was related to your wife?
Denise, we were very close. Doesn't seem possible.
If you don't mind, I'd like to talk to your wife.
Of course.
All right, fellas, let's get over there.
This is Inspector Queen and Ellery Queen.
I'm sorry to trouble you at a time like this, but we've got to ask a few questions.
What good is talk? Oh, my poor Lenore. Can't something be done about that, mister?
We'll do anything we can to help. This Hydra murderer must be stopped.
Oh, he's got to be caught. He must be caught.
He will be.
I know this is not the time for social invitations, but if you'd like some coffee, our apartment is only a few blocks away.
Well, we've got some reports to file.
Why don't you let Billy do that? I'd be interested to hear what the doctor has to say.
This is not the time for social invitations, but if you'd like some coffee, our apartment is only a few blocks away.
I've got some reports to file. Why don't you let Billy do it?
Hold it. You folks out pretty late.
Oh, what's wrong?
Another thing. I hope you're planning to stick together.
For what reason?
The Hydra's been reported in this district.
What's that got to do with you?
We're concerned citizens. The West Side Protective Association.
What's that supposed to be?
Just what it says. West Side Protective Association. Neighbors. Concerned about neighbors.
You mean to say you actually patrol the streets?
We work in shifts. We see that they don't get hit. We try to warn them first.
If I were you, I'd leave the protection up to the police.
Just a minute, mister. There's been 7 murders. One tonight, right around here. We figured the cops just about had their shot.
So now it's up to you.
And you carry a gun.
We got a permit. It's legal. Just trying to keep the neighborhood straight.
I suggest that you people keep your eyes open and try to stick together. Good night, ma'am.
Good night.
As soon as you get a make on the license, check the firearm registration. No, Veely, they were both armed. Right. Right. And another thing, I want to know if there's an East Side Protective Association.
At least they weren't wearing white sheets and pointed hoods.
Yeah, wasted motion. They're within their rights so far, but at least it gives me something to do.
It's ironic. Suddenly an epidemic, something you only read about, becomes personal. After my wife and I were first married, we lost 2 babies in the delivery room. I suppose we both transferred our affection to Lenore.
I wish I could be more encouraging, Doctor, but this case is just like all the others. No witnesses, no clues.
Edward, why don't you tell them your theories?
Please do.
Oh, my dear, these gentlemen are trained for this sort of thing. I wouldn't expect them to tell me how to treat a patient.
If you could help. We're close to home now, Edward. We're talking about Lenore.
Trained or not, Doctor, we'd be very interested to hear what you have to say.
Well, it seems to me you people have gone wrong concentrating on the victim, so I think you should be focusing on the murderer.
Well, how do you mean?
In my opinion, and I grant you it's based on limited data, the Hydra suffers from what we call a systemized delusional state, paranoid psychosis.
That goes without saying. We all assume the Hydra's insane. We've already checked the mental hospitals.
That's exactly my point. Not all psychotics are institutionalized, but many are undergoing treatment.
Well, you mean if we check with the local psychiatrist?
Exactly. Assuming they'd be willing to help.
We haven't got the manpower for something like that.
Edward could do it. He's respected in his
Darling,
field.
You're painting me into a corner.
Would you be willing, Doctor? The mayor could make it official.
Well, I don't have many patients these days. I'm tapering off to retirement. Suppose I could call everyone I know. Old meetings. What do you think, Mr. Queen?
Well, go to it, Doctor. Something might turn up. Even though I don't agree with your diagnosis.
Oh?
No, it seems to me that there's a definite pattern to these crimes, which would indicate a clear mind.
Semantics, Mr. Queen. We can be lucid and at the same time severely disturbed.
Then we're both right. You work your way, Doctor, and I'll work mine.
I hope you're satisfied. They've just hired themselves a psychiatrist. Now, I suggest some ground rules. For example, the sanctity of the psychiatrist-patient relationship cannot be invaded. However, we can surmount this obstacle. Each psychiatrist will go through his files and select his possibilities and make transcripts in which all identifying allusions will be altered, leaving only the initials of the patient
Is
for record.
all this publicity
These
really
case
necessary?
histories will be submitted to a
The commissioner's trying to keep up public morale.
chaired by myself.
It's not a bad idea when you've had 7 murders.
Each case history will be
I get the impression
and
you don't think the analytic approach is very useful.
Mrs. Gonzalez, I'll go for anything if it works.
5 times each transcript, which will be submitted then to the full board for its evaluation and then transmitted to the commissioner. Now, I would like to turn the microphone over to the commissioner.
I've just got a call. No, not another one. At least not yet. Ellery, what are the chances the Hydra might be a woman?
A woman? Yeah, it's possible. Strong wrists, lunge in the dark. Yeah, a woman could do it.
In that case, we got a prime suspect, and with a definite motive.
Who?
Sergeant Vealey checked probate. Your friend, Miss McKell, is going to inherit close to $1 million.
Oops. It works better with a banoose.
Excuses. Why can't you admit it? He can do it better than you can.
Young lady, I'll have you know that I studied under Lugosi. As my friend Count Dracula said, if this don't turn you on, you ain't got no switches.
Well, I'm turned on. Why don't you take me up to the bell tower?
If we go to the bell tower, we'll never talk business.
This is supposed to be a business conference.
Excuse me.
Well, the junior prom meetings. Thank you. You were accounting for your trust fund.
You really do suspect me, don't you? You and your fuzzy...
Think?
Yeah, think you call your uncle.
I can't help it if my uncle controls the thought police.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't any of those other people have wills or insurance policies?
Pittances. Abbott and Carol Smith had no living relatives. And Ryan's family needed him more than the money.
Well, why don't you just run me in? Listen, 7 people were killed. And if I wanted to get rid of my sister so badly and take her trust fund, why would I murder all the others?
ABC.
What?
Look, A wants to murder B, but his motives are too obvious, so he kills C, D, E, and F. Safety in numbers. I never suspected you.
No, but your uncle does.
Fuzzy, I disown him.
Listen. Why don't you just go tell your uncle that I did it to get my greedy fingers on the family fortune? I got rid of my sister, and in order to cover up my tracks, I murdered half the people in the city. And you can also tell him that I'm sick of being seen on by his insipid nephew. How's that for paranoia?
Rudy, baby, are you gonna get yours when they wire those chicks for sound? Queen. Where you been? We've been looking all over for you. That's it. What's that over there? Nothing. What's up? Another Hydra murder. Staten Island Ferry. My uncle here yet?
Expect us in the back.
When did it happen?
A couple hours ago. Truman found the kid lying on the deck. Male Caucasian, name is Morse. Donald Morse.
Yeah, Mark. There's a mark right here. Mark that way.
What happened to you?
Someone dropped by. Not to borrow a cup of sugar.
Our friend?
Probably. Well, it wasn't one of Santa's helpers, I'll tell you that. It was too dark to see him.
Why would he take a chance like that?
I don't know, unless he thinks I'm getting close. Which is far more optimistic than I am.
Well, he's busy tonight, and we've had it.
Why?
This one's different. Breaks the chain.
What link?
The important one. The victim was single. He was listed in the phone book. It was a blue cord.
But?
He was 25, same age as the last victim, Lenore Richardson. Descending age pattern shot.
Same age, are you sure?
Here's his driver's license.
We know the Hydra's on a bummer, but he's consistent.
I had Veely speak with his father. It's the correct birth date.
March 10th. Wait a minute.
What?
What's Lenore Richardson's exact birth date?
I don't know. It's in the files. Why?
They're both 25 years old. Maybe she's a few months older.
And maybe she's not.
Uncle, think positive, will you?
Here's the readout. Let's hope it's not a purse snatching in the Bronx.
Richardson, birthplace Manhattan, age 25, born March 10th, 1945.
March 10th, that's the same day. It's got to be a mistake.
All we can do is check the birth certificate.
All right, let's say it's not a mistake. Then where are we?
We start over again.
Oh, Inspector Queen, welcome to Vital Statistics. I have that information for you. You're not allowed to take them out of the building, but you can have them photostat.
Yeah. Get on with it.
I'm merely emphasizing that these are municipal documents and my primary responsibility.
All right. Get on with it.
Oh, yes. Your information is correct. Richardson Lenore and Morse Donald, both born on the same date, March 10th, 1945.
It's too much to be a coincidence.
Oh, my.
Well, what's so funny? Is there something else you want to tell us?
This is fantastic. It's quite rare. They were both delivered by the same doctor. Well, that's one for the Christmas party.
The same doctor?
Let me see that.
I'm sorry, sir. These are municipal documents, and I'm...
Cazales. Signed by Dr. Edward Cazales.
You see that? Since when does a shrink turn into a store?
That's all of them?
That's the complete list, sir.
Thank you.
Adrian Abbott.
Delivered by Dr. Edward Cazales.
Carol Smith.
Edward Cazales.
Walter Ryan.
Edward Cazales.
Monica McKell.
Edward Cazales.
Simone Phillips.
Cazales.
Beatrice Wallace.
Cazales.
Richardson and Moss.
Cazales. Every one of them. The complete Hydra list. Unless I miss my guess, Cazales started his career in gynecology and obstetrics. Later on, he switched horses. It's rare, but it happens.
I'll have Veely run a check on him.
And while you're at it, figure out a way for us to break into his apartment.
The only way I know is a search warrant.
Oh, come on. You got to be more inventive than that.
What are we looking for?
The motive. Why this systematic madness?
And the name of the next victim?
You're thinking. You may really be my uncle. How long will he be gone?
Long enough. I got the commissioner to invite Dr. and Mrs. to a black tie dinner.
Did you tell the commissioner that we...
He calls a press conference every time I wipe my glasses. No, sir, not till we're ready to make the arrest. Sergeant, let's see that fact sheet on Dr. Gonzalez.
Coming up.
Sunflower seeds?
Well, if... There you are, Inspector.
Here it is, Ellery. Profile on the Hydra, all 8 heads. Born Ohio, only child. Went into obstetrics, practiced New York, married Anna Verlaine. Pregnancy 1, pregnancy 2, no issue.
Yeah, he mentioned that.
What he didn't mention was that he did the deliveries himself.
He was his wife's own obstetrician?
Well, he was qualified.
Maybe he didn't trust anyone else.
He should have, because he blew it twice. Second time the bad news hit him, he gave up his practice.
Well, that's to his credit.
Depressions, insomnia, total wipeout. Took 2 years before he got it together enough to start up in a non-surgical specialty. Studied, earned his certificates, went into the shrink business.
Inspector.
Uncle, did they list the exact cause for the 2 stillborn deliveries?
Not a word.
Cord around the neck. Wouldn't it be ironic if it was umbilical strangulation?
Got it. I'd have made a good criminal.
What makes you think you missed out?
There's nothing in the psychiatric files.
Oh, we're into obstetrics now. Around here somewhere. Uh-huh. Here it is. This is what I'm looking for.
What's that?
The OB records. Beatty, look around and see if you can find the pink or blue cord.
Got you.
And Uncle, get me a phone book. Oh, boy. A windfall.
One ring and a hang-up is us. Right. Gonzalez has just left the dinner party. We got 12 minutes.
Well, we won't need it.
You making any sense out of them?
Yeah, look at this. This is really interesting. These files are in chronological order. Card number 11 is for a patient named Abbott, Sarah Ann. Clipped to it is a card, a blue card, saying that she gave birth to a son, Adrian Michael.
Victim number 1, Abbott, the projectionist.
Right. Now, look at this. 52 cards later is a patient named Smith, Alice. She gave birth to a girl. Carol Vincent, victim 2.
They're all in there?
Gonzalez started at the beginning of his records and worked his way forward.
Why all the gaps, then?
Well, I think the years beat into most of them. Some of the children he delivered died and others moved away. But he checked each card against the phone book till he found one that was listed.
That explains the women being single.
Right. Very good.
They were single because when a woman gets married, she changes her name, assumes her husband's name. Her name comes out of the phone book.
Uncle, that's A100 you get. I will never again say that you're not my uncle. No, no, no. This is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
No cords. I've been over every inch. I don't think he keeps them here.
We won't need them. We know the pink and blue cords are tied in with the pink and blue cards. Well, then, somewhere in Casalis's mind, he thinks his victims are still infants. When he strangled Abbott with the blue cord, he was really strangling a baby boy.
Did you get the next name?
After Donald Morse, the first one who shows up in the phone book is Morgan Christine.
The address?
After all, I am your uncle. Ellery, I hate to spoil a beautiful moment, but you forgot your flashlight.
Who is it?
Rudy.
Rudy who?
Rudy Valentino.
I'd prefer Dracula.
At your service, my lady.
You're not even a real vampire.
Oh, come on, Celeste, let me in.
Why?
You said you wanted to help.
Am I still under suspicion?
You never were.
Liar.
I need you.
Come in.
You're a real girl, aren't you?
What's that, some mystery novel dialogue?
Well, you know, like someone says they need you and you fall apart.
Oh, well. It's not always what someone says, but the way they say it.
Well, I'm glad I said it right.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you really did. You said it sincere, honest, and helpless.
At last, someone who senses the real me.
And that was a good one, too.
This is my night.
But you said I was a woman.
You are. A real one.
No, right now I feel like a little girl.
Well, you're that, too.
No, I mean a very little girl, about 7. Alone. And scared silly.
Now who's being sincere, honest, and helpless?
Well, I guess it takes one to know one.
Celeste.
Charlie, where's my lunch? And the answer is no, absolutely not. No, N-O.
That's his way of saying yes.
I mean it. I'm opposed to entrapment. I am not permitted to trap people, but if you're gonna trap, you use qualified professional bait.
No sauerkraut?
Sorry.
Uncle, we are dealing with an expert in human behavior. He could spot a police plant in his sleep.
Well, how is she gonna help?
Look, Cazares is staked out, right? Plainclothesmen behind every rock. If we could just get somebody in there next to her.
Why?
Cazares moves like a, well, let's face it, a snake. He might make a phone call. He might even write a letter. We have to have a skillful approach.
Like a spy.
The skillful approach would be to arrest him and throw him in the jug.
Where's your evidence? Those files don't make it, and you know it. The only way to catch a snake is with a bird. Get him in a corner, coiled up, and ready to strike.
Or strung out, having struck.
That's your job, bird watcher. Christy Morgan has got to be the most protected girl in the Western Hemisphere.
Don't I need some sort of a spy outfit, like glasses and a beard?
You'll be disguised as an angel.
Oh, like a leather jacket, a helmet, and chopper?
Help yourself.
Not that kind of angel. One with a checkbook. You see, Christy's an actress, and her father left her this little off-Broadway theater called the Electric Hamlet.
The electric what?
Yeah, they're very big on all this new stuff, you know, improvisations and touch and all that. And she's living there, and she's trying to keep this group together.
And she needs money.
And since you're so crazy about showbiz...
Since when?
Since now.
Charlie, would you get me some lunch?
Sorry, kid. Just wait a second, okay? Hey, Walter.
Yeah?
Can you get that intensity up about 2 points?
Okay, Christy, baby, up 2 points.
Hi. I'll be with you.
That's all right. Don't hurry.
Okay. Hey, listen, kids. You're too spread out. I mean, back there. You've got to come more in around the rock, okay? Okay, great. Let's try it again. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. Okay. Nice to meet you. Okay.
Okay, kids, take a break.
You're really grooving. How'd it look from up there?
Out of sight.
Yeah. Did you like the improv?
Oh, yeah. I could really get behind it.
Well, still a little too verbal yet, you know?
But don't worry about it. It's only rehearsal.
I'll be right up. Listen, Celeste, we really appreciate your interest in the bread.
We weren't going to talk about it, remember?
Okay, groovy.
Tell me something. How many people live here?
Oh, at one kids hung out here, but then the heater burst and they split. So here I am in the prop room. Welcome to my humble abode. All this stuff is from props from old stage shows.
Oh, it's wine.
This is where Desdemona was strangled by Othello.
Is this a prop too?
That's my wire to the world. Every once in a while, I get an outside acting gig. Helps pay the bills.
Spooky in here? I mean, being all alone?
I dig it. Helps feed my fantasy life. And this place is a trip and a half.
Say, can I use your wire? I've got a world I have to get in touch with.
Hey, sure. I've got to go back downstairs anyway.
Okay. See you later.
Okay.
You can say anything you want. You've got carte blanche. It's my show.
You're better off with Shasha.
Look, part of your job is to reassure the public, right? So what's wrong with a little video hand-holding? And the Hal Hunter hotline gets to the people you want to reach.
Maybe later.
Look, later won't do it, Mr. Quinn. You saw those wall-to-wall picket signs downstairs.
I'll call you.
You sound like my agent.
Ellery, just in time. Celeste, on the breathe.
Thank you. Hello, Celeste. Yeah, it's me. Anything?
No, just a big fat zero.
I'll stay with it.
Ellery, I'm beginning to feel like a spy or something. These people are very nice. I hate invading their privacy.
You're helping her, remember that.
Okay. I'll see you later, huh?
Okay, bye.
It's been a week.
What is Gonzalez doing?
Here's a report on his movements today. Everything normal.
Abnormally normal.
Richard, trouble downstairs. Maybe you better come along.
How did it start?
Well, the usual way. It just...
They got a bullhorn.
Give him a bullhorn. Come on.
Look, I'll talk to them, get them to send in a few representatives, and you take them right up to your office and give them a progress report.
What progress?
You said you were working on some no leads. Tell them about those. Manufacture something if you have to. Right now, we need as much PR as we can get.
Oil and water's your department. I'm not a politician.
witnesses, I'm sure we can open up some channels of communication. What's on your mind?
Well, what am I supposed to say? I can defuse the situation by telling him we've solved the case, but then we blow it with Gonzalez.
All they really want is an ear. Just listen and look sympathetic.
Fine, but what about tomorrow and the day after that? We've got the Hydra coiled, but he won't strike.
Maybe we can give him a shove.
Hey.
What time tonight?
What?
Your show. What time do you want me there?
8 o'clock. We're here at 8:30.
Save me a couple of seats. I'm bringing a guest.
Anyone you want. Who?
He's connected with the case. Dr. Edward Gonzalez.
Hunter's hotline. Yes, ma'am. A question for you, Doctor.
Yes?
I'd like to know how you're getting on with your psychiatric panel.
Well, not very well, I'm afraid. We can only preserve anonymity up to a certain point, and then names must be disclosed. My panel has already received many phone calls from all over the city from patients who are concerned about a violation of their privacy.
Well, Doctor, how do you cope with this?
Well, I'm beginning to think we can.
Then it's a dead end.
Perhaps, but we'll keep trying.
Hunter's hotline.
Mr. Hunter, I have a question for Ellery Queen.
Yes. Just a minute. This one's for you, Mr. Queen.
Thank you. Hello?
Mr. Queen, I wonder if you think the Hydra might stop someday of his own accord.
Oh, I think he has already.
Oh, no. Wait a minute, Mr. Queen. Let me see if I've got this straight. Are you saying that our reptilian friend has retired?
Well, a substitute run for cover.
Oh, well, you've really zapped us. Would you mind explaining that?
Yes, of course. I think, first of all, you have to understand that the Hydra is sick. He's also a coward. And if you followed his pattern, he always strikes at night and from behind. He never confronts his victims face to face. Common mugger has more guts.
Okay, so he's a coward, but why would he stop now?
Percentages. I think the odds are so heavy against him. He knows that we're close, and every time he commits a crime, it gives us more information.
And now you're on the case. Maybe that frightens him.
I think he's frightened of everything. He's about had it. I think he's ready to slither back to the sewer from whence he came.
Oh, well, I'll tell you something, Mr. Queen. If I were the Hydra, I'd take that as a direct challenge. Hunter's hotline. Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry you had to wait, but that will happen on a show like this. Yes, I am.
Subject just went into the phone booth.
For the switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try this. Oh, here, I'm sorry. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2.
Hello?
Is this the residence of Christy Morgan, the daughter of Arthur and Edna Morgan?
Yes, it is.
Is this Miss Morgan?
No, but I'll go get her.
She is an actress, isn't she?
Yes. Just a minute.
This is the regular business.
a telephone for you.
Oh, who was it?
I don't know. It's a man. He didn't give his name.
Okay, thanks. Hello? Yes, speaking. Uh-huh. Great. Meet you where? Oh, okay. I'll be wearing a leather coat so you can recognize me, and it's got a no smog button on it. Okay, great. Fine. See you at noon. Weird. What? Well, it was a commercial call. This TV producer wants to see if I'm right for something. And it's a far-out place to meet. The top of the world.
Half past.
He'll show.
Why get her out in the open like this? He can't whip out a pink cord with all these people around.
He's on his way, Inspector.
Okay, get down the platform, Joe. What was that all about?
That's the way reptiles come on. They sense their victims, then feel them out.
And then strike, but when?
That's a good question, Uncle.
Good morning. This is your sometime uncle with the morning news.
I don't want to hear it.
Gonzalez is leaving town.
What?
He and his wife and a ton of luggage are at this very moment on their way to the airport.
Oh, he's fouling up the pattern.
It's your pattern, not mine. 4 hidden connections, remember?
I do not remember. All I know is if he leaves town, he's not the Hydra.
Flight 481, nonstop to Washington, D.C. Loading at gate 24. All aboard, please.
Just arrived.
Bailey, check the destination and the ETA.
Flight 20.
Okay.
For Washington, Charleston, Jacksonville, and Fort Myers. Now loading at gate 14. Flight 132 from Miami and West Palm Beach, arriving at gate 36. Flight 423, nonstop to Providence, loading at gate 12. For Mr. Sam Northcross, please report to the ticket counter. Flight 153 from Norfolk and Newport, arriving at gate 16.
Two tickets, Miami. Open end. Next flight.
That doesn't make any sense. I don't believe that. Well, there goes your case.
Flight 21, nonstop to Miami, now loading at gate 26. All aboard, please.
Let's get out of sight.
We'll have him tailed in Miami. What else can we do?
Uncle, all I can do is apologize.
Win a few, lose a few.
Uncle, I take back my apology. He didn't go. Why?
Must be the wife. She's in the way. So he sets up a trip, bows out at the last minute. Sudden business. A suicidal patient needs hand-holding.
Uncle, I'm proud. Proud, proud, proud.
Inspector. Inspector, we followed?
No, he's just going home to rest. Tonight's the night.
Glad to see you taking such an active interest in my case.
Oh, someone has to save you from forced retirement. Okay, Veely.
This muck gets any worse, we won't be able to see the theater.
He's got the smog on his side, so where is he? Maybe past hydrocarbon fumes.
He's on his way. Don't worry, I know.
Surveillance said he just passed point 2. Should be here in a few minutes.
Good. Get Celeste out of that theater. Give him a clear field. Celeste?
Hi. She's alone in her room. She told me to put out the lights and lock up.
I tell you what I want you to do. Go to the corner, grab a cab, and go home.
Is he watching?
Don't worry, he doesn't want you.
What's wrong with me?
You're too skinny, you have an oily complexion, your hair's splitting at the ends, and you make lousy fondue.
I see you've memorized every one of my attributes. Ellery, call me as soon as it's over, okay?
As soon as I can. Bye.
Right. Bye.
Someone's coming.
Gonzalez?
1 block away.
What?
I'm just trying to convince myself that he's gonna go into that theater.
Well, we've made it as appetizing as possible. Christie's alone. What more does he want?
Taxi!
What? You're all right. Ellery, McHale girl's coming up.
It's too much fog.
Gee, what? What happened?
What's going on?
Point 6, what happened?
All right, tell me about it. What? What are you saying?
What happened?
They lost him.
What? Set up a margin for error, but not for a total bomb out. We can see out the window. We got a man on the roof, a man in the basement, a man behind the theater. If they can't see, at least they can hear.
That coat.
What?
Celeste. She's wearing Christie's leather patch coat.
Doctor, let's try it again. You got a dozen police witnesses lined up against you. Statement can save us all a lot of time. You're a psychiatrist. You deal in emotions. Don't you want people to know why? Well, at least tell us who you want for legal counsel.
Mr. Queen, can we have a few comments, please, on this case?
No, there's no comment.
Anything at all you want to say?
Ellery, the mayor is very happy. Congratulations are in order.
Well, tell the mayor to give them to the man responsible.
Oh, yes, of course, your uncle. I'll talk to the mayor about a public commendation.
You really are a kind, good-hearted man, after all.
Commissioner, how's the mayor feel about this case?
Well, the mayor, as everybody else, is quite relieved, but of course, his confidence in my department never...
He just sits there, doesn't say anything.
You see, it's just another example. He feels the fine work that the department has.
Well, that doesn't matter anyway, does it? I suppose you've got enough evidence to convict him as it is, huh?
More than enough. How's your neck?
A little wrong.
Come with me and I'll unring it.
Promise.
Promise. Well, you look like you could use some sleep.
No, I have to write up a report. We just searched Gonzalez' office again.
Did you find anything?
No cords, but I guess we don't really need them. Huh?
See you later.
Funny thing, though. He burned his files.
What?
You know those birth records? He destroyed them. Nothing but a little pile of ashes.
Well, why would he do that?
Who knows? Anyway, it don't matter. I'll see you later.
You're not exactly scintillating company this morning.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking.
It's all over now.
Why did he burn those files? Why? I tell you, something's wrong. It's just not making it.
What's not making it?
Well, listen. Let's go back to the point where I blew my computer. We know that Gonzalez had a breakdown after the death of his children, right? Now, that's important.
All right, I'm listening.
Why did he have a breakdown? Because they died? Just suppose.
Killed his own children.
Gonzalez never killed anyone. He didn't kill anyone.
What?
Are you ready? Mrs. Gonzalez.
Oh, come on, Ellery. He tried to kill me. You saw him.
He was covering for her.
Well, what about the pink cord?
He was just imitating his wife's psychosis. Look, he had it put together just the same way we did. He saw it as a true paranoid projection. She probably started hearing voices in her head, things like, he gives living babies to other women, but dead ones to you. He won't let you have your children, so don't let other women have theirs.
How could he think he could possibly cover up for mass murder?
Because he loved her. He wanted to protect her. And perhaps because he felt that his failure as a surgeon was the cause of her madness.
And so he wanted to get caught.
It was a setup. Look, he's a very sensitive man. He knew we were watching. If he hadn't burned those files, it would have worked.
Then why did he burn them?
He knew he was going to be arrested, right? He left the files behind. His wife could still use them.
Right.
I got to get to a phone.
Queen here. Ellery? What?
Look, I'll explain later. Contact the Florida police. Tell them you want to pick up a Mrs. Gonzalez. Please, do it.
Suppose you tell me how. She's not in Florida.
Where is she?
In transit, I guess. They lost track of her a few hours ago. My hunch is she was worried about her husband and hopped on a plane.
Then she doesn't know that her husband's been arrested?
Not unless she heard it on the radio. Papers aren't out yet. Now, suppose you...
Well, find her. I'll contact you. She left Florida last night.
Well, they'll find her.
Look, Celeste, supposing she saw Christie's name in the card file before she left.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. And the first thing I do is call Christie and tell her to get out of that theater. Taxi!
Hello? Hello?
Robin, you here already? Robin? Robin, you here? Is anybody here? Hello? Oh, Celeste, hi. What? Well, I don't get it. All right, I'm leaving now. Who's there?
Mrs. Gonzalez, I want you to come with me.
No! No, I won't come.
Your children are waiting.
I have no children.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Where are they?
I'll take you to them. They need you.
They need me? Edward. Is Edward there? I don't want them to be alone with him. He might hurt them.
He isn't there. Are you coming?
Oh, yes. I would like to see my children. I don't want them to feel neglected. Oh, my children. My babies. Oh, I'm going to see my babies. Oh, my darlings. My precious little ones. Oh,
Who is it? Ooh, how can I resist?
Evening.
Pretty, pretty, pretty.
Well, I'm glad you like it. This is my Saturday night fondue suit.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, there's a bit of change of a plan.
You what?
Spécialement pour toi ce soir, nous avons la spécialité de maison.
Quoi?
Le saucisson avec du sauerkraut.
Délicieux.
Et aussi, nous avons comme petit pain du pretzel à la flatbush.
Ce n'est pas vrai.
Ah oui, c'est vrai. Et aussi,
Oui.
comme dessert, nous avons, voilà, le chestnut.
À la Washington Square. That's beautiful.
Well, what do you think?
I think you're doing it to me.
Oh,
That's
really?
marvelous. Oh, yeah.